One of the greatest things about being an American is our freedoms, and one of those precious freedoms is the right to own property, the right to own your home. Well, how would you feel if someone came and took that right away from you? That's the conversation I had today when I talked to Ansley Brown from Coweta County and found out that Georgia Power is using eminent domain to take away her family home, the home that she grew up in. Why? For data centers. If you want to upset people, tell them there's a data center being built in their community. Well, down in Coweta County, they have 5 proposed projects for massive data centers, and Coweta County is allowing it to happen. Here's the story you're not going to want to miss. I'm here to talk with Ansley Brown. So Ansley, Americans all over the country are basically in an uproar and they're upset about data centers.
Yeah.
What brought you into this fight?
So we found out about a year ago that our local utility company, Georgia Power, which is a privately owned entity, wants to use eminent domain to take my childhood home to provide infrastructure for data centers.
So eminent domain is a law where a company or utility can take your property for a public use. That's what the state law is. It's for public use.
Yes.
And a data center is not a public utility.
I'll never be able to go to the data center and use it for anything. I'm not welcome on the data center property. It's not something that I can say for sure will benefit our community whatsoever.
Right. So you're not going to take your kids there to play.
No.
Your child is not going to be educated there.
No.
You're not going to go enjoy time in the data center.
No.
However, Georgia Power told the state of Georgia that this was so important they had to use a law against you and your family to take your family home. So what does that mean? Is it going to come up next to your house?
No.
Or what does that mean?
It means that they're going to demolish our entire home. So we have lived here. I was 4 years old when my mom purchased this home. I grew up here. Every birthday party, friend, everything I know is from this house. They are going to completely demolish it to the ground, and all of the buildings that are here that belong to my mom as well. We'll never be able to come back here. In a year from now, we won't even be able to pinpoint where my childhood bedroom sat, much less the house itself, because it's all just going to be power lines and dirt. It's going to be stuff that nobody can use. We can't access it. It's not a public place for anybody to go. And all of it is for these data centers that they claim is for the benefit of us, but I don't see any benefit. If it's truthfully for AI and it's truthfully for our cell phones, it just doesn't make any sense.
This is your family home.
Yes.
Right here. And so they're not just taking property, expanding it from where the power lines currently are and bringing it closer to your property. They're coming all the way across, demolishing your home.
Yes.
And all the buildings on your property. Was your mom ever trying to sell her house before this?
No, and actually the house is supposed to be left to my daughter. My daughter is only 8 years old right now, so it was an idea of generational wealth. We wanted my daughter, when she got into her early 20s, to be able to live here so that way she didn't have to deal with the rising housing costs, rent, all these things that really bring down the young people in America. We wanted her to be able to have a fresh start, where she didn't have all these accumulating bills right out of college, so on and so on.
Of course.
So the whole point for us was generational wealth, which is the American dream.
Yep.
And it's being taken from us.
Yeah. And as a property owner, you should have that right.
Yeah.
Now, your mother not only lives here, not only did you grow up here, and or were you planning this to be your home for your daughter in the future?
Yeah.
Your mom also runs a business out of her home.
Yeah, exactly. My mom runs her own business. It's basically just a buy and sell kind of trade business through eBay and other social media sites. So it's not something that I think anybody would look at and be like, wow, that's such a great business, but it supports her.
Of course.
It supports everybody. It's enough to pay the bills, and it's all she needed. We're not too lavish lifestyle people. We're happy with what we have, though, and we want to keep it that way. We had no intention of ever selling this home. We wanted to live here for forever. And beyond what happens to my daughter later in the future and me and my husband, what we decide to do with the house, that's 30 to 40 years from now.
And should have been your choice. So when they came here and said, we'd like to buy your home, and your mom obviously said it's not for sale.
Exactly.
Then what happened?
Then they threatened us with condemnation. Condemnation is where they take you to court and you don't get the choice at all. A judge and a jury decides, and it is historically proven that the power company always wins because they can withstand the fight. They can hold out longer because they have the lawyers and the billions and billions of dollars that we just do not have.
Right.
Yeah.
So they came and they offered your mother a certain amount of money. Obviously, your mom said, I'm not interested in selling.
Yeah.
I want to stay here forever.
Yeah.
And then they said, we're going to take you to court and force you to accept what we're offering.
Exactly.
How is that freedom?
It's not. And that's what my whole point was. That's why I came out here onto the internet and started making this big fuss about it, is because this is supposed to be America. We are supposed to have the freedom of our property and our happiness. I mean, you can't come and say, hey, we're taking your land that you own for something that doesn't even matter to really any of us at all. There has been an outcry of people against these sinners in our county already, the people that are backing up to them that didn't ask for them to be in their neighborhood.
Right.
And here we are 10 miles away having our home destroyed for the same centers. So it's really, it's a land grab. If I had to say anything at all, it's just a full-on land grab.
Doing my research, there's actually 5 data centers proposed for Coweta County. Now, here's what's interesting to me, Ansley. These data centers, they had to get approval from your county commissioners, right? Who you elect. Is that correct? Everyone in Coweta County gets to vote who their county commissioners are. So the people that you elect were the ones that approved for these 5 data centers to be built here. And tell me about the public outcry here in Coweta County.
We have packed up those commissioner meetings. We are showing up full force. People are speaking, people that are directly neighboring them, people like us who are being affected with Georgia Power. We have all stood up. And you know what they've done back to us?
What's that?
They've posted AI photos of us. AI photos that look like cartoons to make fun of us. Our own commissioners that we elected are publicly bullying us online. They say we're just a bunch of people talking on Facebook. They call themselves the kings and the queens of Coweta County. They threaten us with the police. They threaten us with everything that you can even imagine to try to get us to stop. And we think truthfully that they may just be the face card. You know, they get up there, they spit out their lines, they say what they need to say, and then they go back to the developers that are here. And that's who they work for. They don't work for us, the citizens. They work for the developers for these data centers.
So your home,
Yes.
your home is being destroyed against your will and your mother's will, and her business is being destroyed against her will. And she's going to be taken to court if she doesn't like it. Your daughter's future, that this was a home you wanted for her, is being stolen from her. And no one's allowed to know. The AI, big tech people that the Georgia law is being used to say this is public domain.
Exactly.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so we have no idea what company it is. I don't even care at this point what company it is, because this has been stretched out far too long.
But if they aren't willing to show their face,
then that tells you
that's not a
public wrong.
That's not a public domain issue. Right?
Exactly.
It doesn't seem to be.
No, and it tells you that they're hiding from us.
Yeah.
They don't want their name dragged through the mud like all of these developers are getting. They don't want the bad PR.
Right.
So they're staying out of it until the center's built, is what I think.
Are you suspect that this AI or big tech company could be making donations to your county commissioners and you're not able to find out because this company is not disclosed?
Exactly. That is a big fear of ours. And the more that you see our county government, because this stretches farther than our commissioners.
Yeah.
So I have even had people from like the Coweta County Library, for instance, not want to talk to me because they work for the county.
Sure.
So it stretches far and wide, and it makes you wonder, why is the Parks and Rec Department not wanting to talk about it? Have they been promised something that we don't know about? So that's a big speculation with all of us, is what are they getting out of it? that we're not seeing because we are their constituents. They're supposed to follow what we need and what we want, and they also live in the county. So what kind of bribery or whatever has taken place that has forced this decision to be so unanimous?
You can't help but ask those questions.
You can't.
I mean, as you've been to many of these meetings,
Yep.
they say, well, this is going to bring in tax revenue for the county. So I looked up your Coweta County budget, and it was approximately around $340 million for the year. No, I'm sorry. That's the school district.
Yep.
Your schools are $340 million a year. Your county budget, I want to say, was around $140 million a year.
About right.
Yeah, so it was in that range, just under $500 million for the year. However, what I found out is these data centers aren't going to bring in enough tax revenue, which is the pitch, right?
Yeah.
To replace your property taxes.
Exactly. So, and another side of that as well, I like to make this well known, you cannot count profit based off of the fines that they have to pay. So they included in their budget to their pitch to our commissioners that they intend to pay our fines. So we are probably going to end up hitting them with a lot of water-related fines for the chemicals that they push back out into our drinking water.
Yep.
And they made it clear that they have the budget to pay those. That should not be involved in profit. That's not profitable to us because you've hurt us, and that's the reason why we are charging you that. And aside from that, too, you cannot get the millions that they are trying to deceive us with out of just property tax alone. The people who owned that property previous to these data centers, they paid property taxes. So it doesn't make any sense where this money is going to come from. And even if it does benefit us very slightly, it's not going to be anything that we see, raises to our teachers, infrastructure changes with our roads and things like. There's not going to be anything that I've seen promised that actually makes it worthwhile.
So they didn't roll out a real pretty board they use their AI skills to create and show you all these beautiful plans that are going to be delivered for your community?
No, there's no promise for what this money is going to do for us. And I believe it's because the money is not actually there.
So how much water is this going to use every day?
Okay, so Coweta County back in 2022, on average, used 7 million gallons of water per day.
Okay.
They created a new pump station. So they swapped our entire county off of our aquifer over to the Chattahoochee River. 14 miles of the Chattahoochee River runs through Coweta County. This new pump will allow them to suck up 27 million gallons of water per day.
And the county currently uses approximately 7 million a day.
Yes.
So the Chattahoochee River is, for anybody watching that is not from Georgia, is the most important river in the state of Georgia.
Yeah.
Runs all the way from Tennessee,
Yes.
down through Atlanta, down through North Georgia, through Atlanta, comes through Coweta County,
Yep.
on down into parts of Alabama and empties out in Florida into the Gulf of America.
Yes.
So this, and then this is a Chattahoochee River basin, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Which is an extremely important source of water.
Yes. So basically, we rely on it now for drinking water, which is something that we've never had to rely on before.
Right.
Our county tried to swing us to say that this would be easier for us to get water during a drought, but we've never had a water consumption issue in Coweta County ever.
No, you have a Chattahoochee River and you have a water basin.
Exactly.
So a lot of groundwater.
Exactly. But they're building Project Sail right on top of an aquifer. So that aquifer, yes, feeds hundreds and hundreds of private wells. So that's the major concern with that aquifer, is that this is going to cause a lot of sediment issues, and it's going to contaminate the water just immediately with the construction. And then now, like I said, they're pumping us out of the Chattahoochee. They're running the water through our waste treatment center after it exits the data center and punching it back into Wahoo Creek. Wahoo Creek feeds directly back into Chattahoochee. So at this point, if they're not cleaning the water properly, you could be talking about poisoning the entire state.
Is it true that they're having a closed loop system closed loop system sounds good on the surface where they're reusing the water to cool the data center. However, they treat it with a lot of chemicals. Is that right?
That is correct. So they're trying to claim it's a closed loop system. However, if you actually look at the plans, the water does go back into our wastewater treatment center.
Right.
So it kind of,
just to make it simple and clear.
yeah,
The chemicals will go back into that aquifer, which will seed, what is the creek?
Wahoo Creek.
Wahoo Creek.
Yes.
It seeds the Chattahoochee River.
Exactly. They're changing the structure of our county completely. And so all of these farms, these cattle farms, sheep farms, agriculture areas where we grow food for mass production.
all had chickens I saw behind the house.
So
For a short time longer.
yeah, all of these animals, these businesses, all of it is going to be affected. And even it goes into broader with these easements. Georgia Power treats these easements with Roundup.
The Trump administration, President Trump, just signed an executive order this year protecting glyphosate, which is a dangerous chemical. What do you think about that?
I think that it can completely destroy our ecosystem out here. So a lot of this is wetlands, agriculture areas, and farms. We cannot afford for them to come willy-nilly spray it all over. It will kill everything. Once it hits the water, it contaminates the land. And when you contaminate the land, you contaminate all of us.
And this is your property, it's your mother's.
Yes.
For only how much longer?
We're guesstimating maybe another few months.
Wow.
At first, the date was August the 1st. That was the date that they were really trying to push us out by. That really upset us. So that's when I first started posting on social media because I was like, we're running out of time. I need somebody to hear this story.
So Ansley, do y'all have big, expensive, high-powered attorneys that can fight this? No.
No.
Of course you don't.
We don't even have an attorney at all because when we first started reaching out to eminent domain attorneys, they told us there's not enough meat on the bone, meaning that we weren't going to get enough from Georgia Power to be able to move and to pay an attorney's fee.
So even though the county commission meetings are packed out by angry Coweta County residents, even though you're helplessly crying out all over, so you've gotten a lot of attention on social media, by the way. Good job.
Thank you.
Well, tell me, who has helped you? Do you have who's elected that has helped you? Anybody in the county or the city of Noonan? County, Coweta, city of Noonan?
Not
about state. It's a Republican-controlled state.
I've had one person come out, and that was Greg Dolezal.
Yeah.
He did come out, and he walked this entire property with us, and he kind of educated me a little bit on why these data centers are here. I did not realize that they were getting these giant tax cuts from our federal government in Georgia. I did not understand that they did not have to pay taxes on their building materials.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Doesn't your mom pay taxes on any supplies she uses for her small business? Yeah. No, you're correct. What else did he tell you?
He just essentially went down that line of they don't pay any type of sales tax for any of their building materials. So it's an incentive for them to come here. It's cheaper for them to come here. And also through him and some people that are helping me understand the Public Service Commission, we were able to realize that Georgia Power is not going to charge them a full commercial rate for power. So they get an incredible discount from Georgia Power, which we don't receive. Us as homeowners are seeing more and more increasing rates, which were approved by our Public Service Commission. However, the data centers are not under that same type of scrutiny.
So they're getting a lot of special treatment, not only on the state level, the federal level, and clearly in your county.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
It makes me pissed off. If I can say that like that, I mean, it just makes me angry. And the more and more I dig into it, it's like peeling back an onion. It's like every day I find a new reason on why they've done this.
Right.
And I hate to be like, well, I understand why, but I get why they're here. It's because they're letting them come here and they're giving them the free open hand to say, hey, it'll be better if you come here. We're better than the other states for you. And that's just not the case for our community. Our community doesn't want it. We don't need it. I mean, we are a full rural community that has lived this way for hundreds and hundreds of years. We didn't ask them to do this, and we didn't ask our representatives to give them the free ride either.
Well, Angie, this is your home that Georgia Power is using the law eminent domain to basically steal your property that you never intended to sell or move from. Have they paid you ahead of time? How does that work?
No, so they offered to pay me ahead of time, and I thought that was great. I did find a home about 2 miles from here.
Mhm.
It was terrific. Went to go put an offer in. When I read the fine print, what they were actually paying me for was a non-disclosure agreement. They were not paying me for the house, and based on what my accountant told me, that would have cost me about $100,000 in taxes to be able to take that offer. So I had to decline it.
Wow.
And they, up until recently, were not giving me any time to move whatsoever. Basically, the day I closed, they wanted me out. That'd be fine for people that have not lived in a home for 23 years and didn't run a business out of it. But I've got fish, chickens, and 5,000 inventory items inside that have to be removed. So it's just not possible for me. And I know a lot of people said, well, get a mortgage. It'll be fine. I've been here for 23 years. I owe little to nothing on this house. And at 50, I don't want to have a new mortgage. I want to pay cash. I've earned that right. I've paid for it.
Absolutely.
So that's what I want. Just the attitude from Georgia Power that I've got is basically, hey, the law said we could have your house, so get out.
No sympathy.
No sympathy. Even when they were trying to negotiate and come out with me, what they were doing was they would call the day before and say, we'll be here at 11 o'clock. I mean, I have a corporate job. I run a business. You can't just have a grandkid. You can't just schedule something the next day and expect that to work for me. And it's been that way the whole time with them. Just very pushy. We're in charge. We're in control, and no respect towards homeowners, basically.
Zero respect
Yeah.
towards you.
Yeah, it will save Georgia Power money if they can bulldoze my property rather than working through their own lines for these data centers.
And nobody knows what AI or big tech company it's being built for.
No, not at all. No.
How has this changed things politically here in Coweta County?
So Coweta County is historically a red county. We've always voted Republican. Almost all of our commissioners are Republican. City council, everybody, Republicans. But that is about to change. Our biggest support right now, where everybody's headed, is to vote for a Democrat for Coweta County Commissioner for the first time in a long time. And when you used to drive up these country roads, there were Trump signs everywhere. I mean, they were stapled to trees, they were on power poles, they were in people's front yards everywhere. Those signs are gone. There is not a Trump sign in this county anymore that I know of, because people have shifted. They feel betrayed by the Republican Party, which, how could you not? I mean, we voted for you and you're doing this to us.
Right. And no one's helping. No one from the Trump administration. No, nobody.
Nobody at all. And
what about your Congressman, Brian Jack?
No, I've heard a little bit from Brian Jack. However, what I hear from Brian Jack seems to be a lot of diversion. When I ask questions about the PSC, it's not necessarily the correct answer, even though it's all public knowledge, so we know the correct answer. Mm-hmm. It's no real responsibility is being taken by anybody in our local government, even all the way up to Congress. Mm-hmm. We've had people from other districts come out here and apologize to us, but not our own District 3 Congressman Brian Jack.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think he got an appropriations for what was it?
The Chattahoochee Raw River Pump Station. So he was able to secure funding for that pump station, which is where the water will go directly from the Chattahoochee River to the data centers.
There you go.
Growing up, we had a bunch of ATVs, four-wheelers, side-by-sides. You could ride the lines. And my childhood friend's house actually connects up there. So we would ride.
I think I see a deer stand.
Yeah, we would ride the four-wheeler to the deer stand and meet up.
Right.
So we were out here and kicking rocks around. And one day I kicked a rock and it flipped over and it was a tombstone.
What?
Yes. And they are children's graves from the Civil War. This used to be a plantation kind of area. And so these are the children that did not survive.
During the Civil War?
Yep.
Is there any more history to why they died or what happened?
I think on some of these markers, it gives the reason of death. A lot of them, I believe, are tuberculosis.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
So, as you see, 1871.
Oh, yeah.
1873.
Yeah.
And the Sewell family, it was the Sewell Mill Plantation.
Oh,
So these are all children of the plantation owners at the time. And
Yeah, that one only lived 3 years.
yeah, and a lot of these that are kind of busted up, these are going to be the female graves. So at the time, the women did not receive, even the little girls, did not receive the same type of treatment as the men. So the men have the more prominent tombstones.
What is Georgia Power doing to conserve this area or anything?
Doesn't look like much to me.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're just going to keep on building right over the top of it. I mean, if you look up, they go right over it. So, and this is just one of many. There's hundreds of sites like this throughout this county because this county goes back that far.
Right.
Yeah, it's generational land. I think Coweta County was established sometime in the early 1800s. So we really were some of the first, well, Georgia Americans.
Colony.
Exactly.
Yes.
So
And now we've come to a place in our history where they can just take your house.
we're being pushed out. We have no choice.